Question number 4, Kanwaljit Singh Bakshi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and my question is to the Minister of State-Owned Enterprises and asks, what reports has he received on the sale of minority of shares in Mighty River Power?
Honourable Tony Ryle.
Mr. Speaker, last night the Finance Minister and I were pleased to confirm the completion of the book build of Mighty River Power share offer, which will see 113,000 New Zealanders become individual shareholders in the company on Friday, not to mention those thousands who will own the shares indirectly through KiwiSaver accounts and such like.
Point of order. Right Honourable Winston
Mr.
Peters.
Speaker, the question asked him what reports has received. Now they're getting recitation of last night's history, but nothing about a report.
I thought the Minister was addressing the question
Speaker,
quite adequately.
he's asked to give a report by the question. It's the #1 objective of that question, and all you're hearing is a litany of what happened last night. That's not a report at all. I want to know why he's not answering the question now.
We'll allow the Minister to continue the answer, and I'm sure we'll get the answer. Honourable Tony Ryle.
Mr. Speaker, numerous reports I've read tell us that $1.7 billion will be returned to the Crown accounts, allowing the government to control debt and invest in important public projects such as the new Christchurch City hospitals. We're very pleased at the level of enthusiasm from New Zealand investors. Despite 18 months of politicking from the opposition, we look forward to seeing the Mighty River Power name on the New Zealand Stock Exchange tomorrow, Friday afternoon.
Oh, excellent. Great.
Thank you. Supplementary question, Kanwaljit Singh Bakshi.
Supplementary to the Minister. Has the government met its objectives in relation to the Mighty River Power minorities share float?
Honourable Tony Ryle.
Mr. Speaker, yes, despite a year and a half of opposition politicking and trying to convince New Zealanders that the float was off track and that they couldn't be trusted to try and buy shares in these businesses, the government has met its objectives. We've got over 86% New Zealand ownership. New Zealanders at the front of the queue, now 113,000 individual investors, thousands more through KiwiSaver and the Government Super Fund have had the opportunity to get a good investment experience, and many others. As a country, we're controlling our debt while providing around $1.7 billion of money for the Future Investment Fund to invest in important public assets like schools and public infrastructure such as the new Christchurch City Hospital.
Supplementary question, Kanwaljit Singh Bakshi.
Were there any particular matters that impacted on the offer over the course of the share float? If so, what impact did these matters have?
Honourable Tony
Yes,
Ryle.
Mr. Speaker, just 3 days into the offer period, the opposition party set about to sabotage the offer by proposed changes to the energy sector that would strip capital and value from their investments. This economic sabotage wasn't thought through, and it's clear that it cost many New Zealanders, many everyday New Zealanders, the opportunity to participate. It cost thousands of New Zealanders through their super fund investments in already listed energy companies, and it cost taxpayers many tens of millions of dollars that could have been released in the sale of these minority shares to invest in schools and hospitals, all for political gain and all in vain.
Supplementary question, Dr Russell Norman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If we accept the logic of the Minister's argument that the NZ Power announcement reduced the value of those electricity companies, does it not follow from the logic of his argument that the market accepts that NZ Power will reduce the price of electricity for ordinary Kiwi families and businesses?
Speaker, no, not at all. Mr. Speaker, no, not at all. I don't think that's the case at all. I think what most New Zealanders realise is that this was a case of economic sabotage where the opposition parties decided that they wanted to interfere with the ability of New Zealanders to make this decision. The fact is, the New Zealand Power proposal is not well thought through. The opposition parties didn't consider the consequences, and I think more and more New Zealanders, as time passes, will realise it was simply a political stunt.
Honourable Clayton Cosgrove.
Why does his government insist on ploughing ahead with the sale of electricity assets when the market is not working fairly for consumers and electricity companies are making windfall super profits? Or is the Nelson Grey Power President Neville Mayle incorrect when he says that many senior citizens cannot afford quote-unquote crazy electricity prices?
Honourable Tony Ryall.
Mr Speaker, this government has made changes to the electricity market which has improved the level of competition that was never seen when that member was in government. Under his government, electricity prices increased by 72% in 9 years. That rate of increase now is much lower. The amount of switching and choice that customers have is very, very considerable. And that is the benefit of having a far more competitive electricity market. And it is the benefit of having a government that's determined to give New Zealanders an opportunity to invest in good quality infrastructure assets in partnership with the government.
Question number 5, the Right Honourable Winston Peters.
Mr Speaker, my question is to the Minister for